Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start with a new topic, spermatogenesis, that is the formation of the male gamete sperm. So before we start with spermatogenesis, let's get ourselves introduced with some terms. Alright, the first term is gametogenesis. So have you ever heard this term, gametogenesis, before? Gametogenesis is basically the formation of haploid cells called as gametes. Alright, so that process of formation of haploid gametes is called as gametogenesis. There are two types of gametes. The male gamete is the sperm, female gamete is the ovum. We write down haploid by putting n into the brackets. So spermatogenesis is basically the formation of haploid sperms. So the sperms have 23 chromosomes, that is half the number of chromosomes, whereas normal body cells have 46 chromosomes, that is they are diploid. Alright, the normal body cells, as I told you, these are all diploid, so they will have 46 chromosomes in humans. Okay, so they are denoted by 2n. Gametes are haploid, denoted by n, having 23 chromosomes in humans. Again, the same thing, sperms and ovum are the gametes. Ova is the plural. Alright, so spermatogenesis is the formation of sperms. Now we'll have a look at how the sperms are formed. There are various steps. I will draw each step and I will label the steps later on for convenience. So please pay attention to what I'm going to teach you next. So the process starts with a cell called as the primordial cell. The primordial cell is the cell formed from the germinal epithelium of testes. It is a diploid cell having 46 chromosomes. Now this primordial cell undergoes many mitotic divisions to form a number of diploid cells. As you know, in mitosis the cell divides, the cytoplasm divides, as well as the nucleus divides. So a number of cells are formed after repeated steps of mitosis, and the cells that I am drawing now, the 4 cells, these are called as spermatogonial cells, or spermatogonia, or singular is spermatogonium. So each of these spermatogonium is diploid in nature. Alright, now what happens is this spermatogonium grows in size. Okay, it becomes into a larger cell called as primary spermatocyte. I think I should change the color of the primary spermatocyte so that it becomes easier for understanding. Now we will, I think, use the color red for denoting primary spermatocyte. So once again, spermatogonial cells, each spermatogonium undergoes maturation and food accumulation to form a larger cell called as primary spermatocyte. Alright, it is also a diploid cell. Now this primary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis 1 division, and as you know, meiosis 1 gives rise to 2 haploid cells. So I'll be using this blue color to draw 2 cells which are called as secondary spermatocytes. So secondary spermatocytes are both haploid. Each of them will have 23 chromosomes. Now each secondary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis division 2 to form 2 cells each. So I think we will use the color yellow to denote these cells. These cells are called as spermatids. So the yellow colored cells, which are haploid, each cell having 23 chromosomes, each of these cell is called as a spermatid. Alright, so actually the formation of sperms is not over here. Alright, each spermatid undergoes certain changes, okay, to finally form the male gamete in humans called as the sperms. So we'll use the color green to denote the sperms. So each spermatid will give rise to one sperm, and as spermatids are haploid, similarly each sperm will be haploid and it will be having 23 chromosomes. All right, so that is the basic diagram or the flow chart of spermatogenesis. All right, first the primordial cell giving rise to spermatogonium, giving rise to primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, spermatid, and sperms. All right, now we'll do one thing, we'll label all the process cells. So the first cell, as I told you, is the primordial cell. Okay, it is a diploid cell formed from the germinal epithelium of testes. Okay, that is the starting of spermatogenesis. They'll undergo mitosis to form spermatogonia, that is plural, spermatogonium, that is singular. All right, now we will label the primary spermatocyte. So primary spermatocyte is formed after maturation and accumulation of food by the spermatogonium, and it is called as primary spermatocyte. The primary spermatocyte is also diploid, that is, it will be having 46 chromosomes. Now we will label the secondary spermatocytes. The secondary spermatocytes are formed by meiosis 1 division of primary spermatocyte. So each secondary spermatocyte will be haploid, having 23 chromosomes. Okay, so I'll mention haploid here, I'll mention diploid afterwards. So primary spermatocyte is diploid, secondary is haploid. Secondary spermatocyte give rise to meiosis 2 spermatids. Again, each spermatid is haploid. All right, and finally each spermatid undergoes growth and changes and many differences to form a fully grown male gamete called as the sperm, which is again haploid, having 23 chromosomes each. Right, so we'll just write down the diploid number in primordial cell, in the spermatogonium, and also the primary spermatocyte. Okay, so that is your spermatogenesis chart. All right, which is in the textbook. I hope you have understood. So if you have understood, I think we can just read certain information that is given in the coming slides. Okay, which will just revise whatever I have taught you. Now the first step or the first stage of formation of spermatogonium from primordial cell is called as a multiplication phase, because each primordial cell undergoes mitosis, so each cell is multiplying, so it is called as a multiplication phase. In the multiplication phase, the primordial cell undergoes mitosis to form spermatogonium. The growth phase is when each spermatogonium grows in size and accumulates food to form the primary spermatocyte, that is the second phase. Okay, and the last phase is called as the maturation phase, and in the maturation phase each secondary spermatocyte will be formed from the primary spermatocyte, that is haploid, and secondary spermatocyte will give rise to spermatid and finally sperms. So these are the three phases in spermatogenesis: multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. So hope this topic has become easy for you. We will just revise everything that we have learned through the coming slides. Alright, so please read the information given in the slides. Occurs in testes. So I would like to tell you something before we go on to the summarization. When the spermatids are formed, these spermatids undergo certain changes to form fully grown sperms. Okay, the changes are, there are two centrioles which are formed, proximal and distal centriole. All right, then the Golgi complex gives rise to the acrosome part of the sperm. All right, then the spiral shaped mitochondria is formed in the sperm. And can you tell me one more change? Think. Yes, any other change? Alright, the last change is that the axial filament, which is the tail, that is formed. Alright, so these are the changes which occur in the spermatid, and finally, after these changes, a fully grown sperm or a fully developed sperm is formed, which is haploid and which is the male gamete. Now we will just read the summary of whatever we have learned through the coming slides. Occurs in testes, germinal epithelium gives rise, okay, then there is spermatogenesis, starts from the primordial germ cells which are diploid, and they pass through three phases: multiplication phase, okay, to produce spermatogonia; growth phase to produce primary spermatocyte; and maturation phase, which will finally give rise to spermatids, which will undergo changes to form the sperms. You can pause the video to read the slides. So after we have finished reading this, finally the changes that occur in the spermatids, that is called as spermiogenesis. So spermiogenesis is the process of formation of sperms from spermatids. So whatever changes take place in the spermatids, that is called as spermiogenesis. Alright, so if you see the changes that are occurring, alright, all the changes are given over here. So let us highlight these changes. Each of these changes are very important for the formation of fully formed sperm: length of the sperm, formation of proximal and distal centrioles, formation of spirally coiled mitochondria, and finally acrosome, that is in the head, formed from the Golgi complex. Now we will have a look at the chart that is given in your textbook. Alright, and that is the same diagram that I have drawn. So you can see the three phases: the multiplication phase, growth phase, and the maturation phase. Thank you.